Niall Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill, joins me now. Niall, good morning to you.
Morning, Nicole.
All right, so first explain this comparison that's being made now between the 70s economy and today's economy here in 2022. Tell us, what are some of the similarities? What are some of the differences?
So in terms of similarities, basically price shock is the big one. Commodities, particularly oil, rose in price very sharply in both instances. Just this year, the price of crude oil is up 44%. That has all kinds of knock-on effects on business, on transportation costs and all the rest of it. Both in the 70s and now, this comes against the backdrop of conflict, as Marley was just alluding to, the Yom Kippur War back then, now the crisis in Ukraine. In terms of differences, I think most people would say the underlying American economy is stronger now, and interest rates are lower now. So we do have a little bit more room for maneuver.
All right, so you talk about those increases in the price of crude. We certainly are feeling the impact of the sanctions, because in the real world, we see that immediately at the gas pump. All across America, we see that prices are just surging, and that's really in just the past week alone. So, Niall, how does the U.S. fight that? Is there any lessons that can be learned about maybe what to do or what not to do from back in the 70s?
I think, as with many issues, recognizing the problem is one of the first important things to do, Nicole. Back in the 70s, even though the term stagflation had been coined in Britain in the 60s, it was really that crushing experience of the 70s that brought it home here. So recognizing that issue and trying to find a way to find the sweet spot, essentially, not raising interest rates so sharply as that you crush the economy, but also being wary of letting inflation get out of control. That's the challenge for lawmakers like Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve, rather than a lawmaker, but for officials.
Well, and Niall, speaking of that, Powell saying yesterday that, what he's trying to avoid is what happened in the 70s. But basically, Russia's invasion is affecting the stability of markets all across the world. What do you think Powell's strategy ultimately will be?
So we're seeing some signs, I think, that he might be willing to let inflation rise a little bit above the traditional goal of the Fed. The Fed's aim has been 2% inflation. Obviously, we're way above that. That means that to get back down to 2%, you would have to raise interest rates fairly steadily and somewhat sharply. We're getting some indication that at the next meeting, the Fed might not raise interest rates by the half point expected. It might be more like a quarter point. I do think it's worth emphasizing, Nicole, back in the 70s, the statistics or the problems of inflation and interest rates got to levels that we would find terrifying now. Inflation reached 15% in 1980, and to crush that, the Fed put the interest rate up to 20% the following year. Those are terrifying figures from our standpoint.
That is absolutely terrifying, and hopefully something that we will not repeat in the 2020s. My goodness. All right, Niall Stanage, thank you for that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.